Good morning, guys, and welcome to iPunt Smart. We're racing from Turffontein as well as from Kenilworth today. So let's start off with Turffontein, where the big race day is. And in the very first, I quite like the first choice here, Eyes on Tiger. Now, if I look at the bat figures first, I don't have the best bat curve, but I have the second best bat curve combined with the best bat 42, 84 and bat 168. Now, just for those who don't know, bat is actually the bomb roll, which is best adjusted merit rating lengths behind, uh, combined with the adjusted time, and that then gives you a figure, and that is an expression in lengths of given that they have again run their best run in those particular box, like in 42 days or 84 days or 160 days. Then if they just repeat that one run, then that would mean that they will be very competitive in this field, and that's based on the average merit rating of the previous fields that they've run against versus the average merit rating of the field that they are running in today, and the change in any weight, apprentice allowances, lengths behind the winner, the weight adjustment, and the actual adjusted time that was achieved over that same going. So, all that being said, Eyes on Tiger is my first choice in the very first, and he has run against my second choice before, which was Lazy Guy. The 5th of Jan, the 1200 vol, one length behind the winner when Muzieni was riding. And the same day, Callan Murray was riding 2.35 in soft conditions. So only 1.35 lengths between these two over the same weight. The difference being that Lazy Guy is now at 20 to 1 and Eyes on Tiger is at 3 to 1. So Lazy Guy is a nice bit of a backup here, in my opinion. All the money is for Ace of Spades, that he's been backed into the favourite. But I only have one run to judge him against, and that's a 59.61 1200 vol over good going. And if I look at Lazy Guy's 1200 vol over good going, a 58.14, it's clearly better, and clearly better over a yielding condition where Ace of Spades was actually in good going. So he should have been a little bit slower, but he's actually a bit faster. So that means to me that Eyes on Tiger, that also has a 57.97 adjusted time. Him and Lazy Guy is for me the best two in the field. My third choice is the favourite Ace of Spades. Just being backed in like that, he's probably going to get quite a bit of improvement. He is from the Paul Peter yard. And then a bit of a roughie for me, Purple Dominance. His first run was in yielding conditions, and that was a decent 58.61, which clearly is also better than the 59.61. It was on the same day, the 5th of January, and he finished 6 lengths behind the winner, where Eyes on Tiger finished 1 length behind and Lazy Guy finished 2.35 lengths behind. So he's 3.5 lengths behind on that run, but it is only his third run, and he therefore could potentially improve to get a bit closer today. So that's my first 4 choices in this race. Of the first timers, the one I'm most interested in as far as money is concerned is the Sean Terry Lyle Hewitson combination in Gold Storm. Currently at 6 to 1, but any money that comes must be respected. Maybe Mount Athos, the other Sean Terry runner, could also potentially be a bit of a threat because we pick him up here on the best intent, which is quite weird for Solomons and Terry together. Moving to the second race, and in the second we start the bipod. And the start of the bipod, the first 2 legs, looks pretty hard for me. I ended up going with Broadway Babe as my first choice, but Broadway Babe does have a question over the 1160. So it is only one of 2 from Brett Weber. He does have quite a decent jockey if I'm comparing that against his previous jockeys of Mallorca and Duba. No disrespect to them, but just from a statistical perspective, Ryan Munger has got better stats, and he does have 1.04 and 3.7 as bat figures over the 1,000. Question for me is whether he can do the 1200. I don't know, which lends me then to my second choice, Differentiate. And I'm hoping for a double between Eyes on Tiger from Paul Matchett and Differentiate um, from Paul Matchett. But Broadway Babe at 14 to 1, if he can do the extra 200 meters, then he's definitely in with a chance. Just purely given 1, 4, and 3 bat figures, where the second best is Differentiate on 6 and 9 and 7 and 6 here. And then the favourites again in third. He's got a bad draw to overcome, Fabian Habib. They got backed in seriously last time and finished behind Differentiate on the 21st of Jan. 3.5 lengths behind Lee Express, and Differentiate 1.3 lengths behind. So 2.2 lengths difference, but in saying that, we do have a 2.5 kilo worse off for Differentiate, which does bring Lee Express closer in this contest. The worry for me, though, is that both of these runners that I'm talking about is both drawn badly. As you can see, the highlighted green is actually black, so bad draws to overcome. Which then brings me to my fourth choice, Cosmic Ray, and with the Terry first timer in the first, Gold Storm, this might perhaps be a bit of an improver. If I'm looking on his one blue bat 1160 Turffontein run, he was actually 1.4 to 2.5, so that's quite a lot of interest and money when he had the best 7.13 bat figure. And he followed it up with 2 decent runs when he was 16 to 10 favorite, and then again when he was backed in from 7 into 4 to 1 when he didn't perform. But that was over 1,000 meters, and he's going back over the longer distance. It seems he needs a bit more. So Cosmic Ray at 10 to 1 is another decent runner for me that could pop in here. So that's 4 of them already that I think that has a decent chance. I also think that that at the bottom here, Dalgety Bay, my 5th choice, doesn't have all that much to improve on, given that Pierce Stradom was on in the last time with a 5.9 bat, so he can also come in there. And then a bit of a roughie, Stefanus Botha with Nathan Klink. Blinkers are fitted today. He made huge improvement when he was Steels at 36 bat to Alamites at 10. And now he's getting blinkers fitted as well. And it's only one of 2 runners for Ice Dancer for Stefanus Botha. So he might also be popping into the quartet trifecta spots, in my opinion. So, ended up quite hard. 3, 5, 10, 4, and 1. Dalgety Bay into my bipod 3, 5, 10, 4, 1. It looks quite open. In the third, now that Smuts has been scratched, it has changed this to quite an open affair. If you look at the bat figures 11, 11, 14, 9, 9, and 8. So all of that being said, this is quite an open race. I've gone with Light Without as my first choice. And my second choice, I've gone with Arizona Lady at 20 to 1, then Major Winter, the favorite, then Dance Partner, Enigma Code, and Barometer. And I've put in all 6 of them in my bipod because the start of the bipod is very much of a question mark. Then we move on to a greenie and Anna Capri. Now, Anna Capri did disappoint the last time when running only third, and Schwartz is again taking the ride. So I'm hoping that this will be a better ride from Schwartz today, but he does only have 2 for the day, and Nieuwenhuizen only has 2 for the day as well. So he'll remain my first choice, with Rapid Fire's last run, a 5.83 bat, being really decent. Over the same 1,000, that means that Ryan Munger comes in and stays on board. He did get support from 9 into 5 last time, which to me means that he's probably a really decent backup for Anna Capri. So I've gone 4 and 2, and then there's a bit of a roughie here in the form of Hurricane Headley at 25 to 1. Paul Matchett's taking the ride, but what appealed to me in this race was the 1,000 meters. He did win here in a very decent 57.42, carrying 60 kilos. Today he's carrying featherweight 51.5 kilos, and he's getting blinkers fitted. And it's Dickens' only run for the day, so I wouldn't be surprised if Hurricane Headley is competitive today. So he's my third choice with Sweet Sensation. Now with Lyle Hewitson taking the ride, my fourth choice, and Bat 42 being the lowest in the field, a 5.52. So I've gone for all of 4, 2, 8, and 5 in the pick 6, and in my bipod PA 4, 2, 8, and 5. Now in the fifth race, we have a greenie in the form of Sell High, and he'll probably be competitive today. Sell High. A greenie needs to have 15 greenie points, so he just made it. Then he also has to have the best bat 42, which he does have, but he only has that by only 1 length to Barak, and we know that Mike de Kock stable is in really, really good form. So I've ended up going with 4, 9, and 5. Sell High, Apollo Ribbons, and Barak, which is the three market leaders at 4 and 4 and 3.5. So I think that should be enough, 495, and then the backup is 7 and 8, which is Master Supreme. That does have the best bat curve, which is the 8-month consistency curve. So he does have the best performance as a consistent performance over the last 8 months. And then Tiris Express, that also appeal because he's got blinkers on, only 52 kilos on the back. The best bomb roll 84 days, and the second close to Master Supreme to the best bat curve. So 495 and 7 and 8. Then over to the sixth race here. I actually think anything goes. Wasn't all that ready last time, so I'm thinking anything goes could be a lot better today. But War of Athena and Miss Elegance is probably for me the biggest dangers. 8.4, 7.7, and 10.0 on the back figures, and then the next best is another 6 lengths further in the form of Castle Durrow. So personally, I think 1, 2, and 4 is enough for the PA and the bipod, and then 6 and 3 would be my next best, Castle Durrow and G for Go with Paul Matchett again in here. It looks like Matchett will have a decent day. In the seventh, the last of the bipod, here Catch 22 is my top rated. He does have 1.5 or 2 lengths to Malmoose on the bat figures here. Malmoose is my second choice. Then I've got a serious roughie in third here, Waishong Mowing with Way of Mowing combination at 40-1 in Kingsley's Heart. Now, the 40-1 doesn't look so bad anymore if you consider that he had his last run over the 1600 at 8.6, which is less than 2 lengths from Catch 22. So he is potentially a bit of a danger at that kind of price, and it will definitely make the pick 6 pay if that happens. So 2, 3, 8, and then my fourth choice is the 1, Mount Pleasant. So the Cock has 2 runners here in my top 4, Mount Pleasant and Malmoose, but given what they have shown in the past, the 12.2 versus the 4.9 shows that Malmoose is better suited to actually win this race. And I don't think Mount Pleasant really likes the heavy going either. In the 8th race, here I quite like the finish with 2 Janse van Vuuren top rated. Maybe a bit of a nibble on the Janse van Vuuren double. In the 8th, True to Life, blinkers are fitted. Gavin Lorena takes the ride. Best exotic ranking, quite a lot ahead on the best totals, best bat curve, best bomb roll, best bomb 84 before we went on the rest. And that 274 is almost the best with 2.7 on Bold Ransom, my second choice. So True to Life, I quite like for a little bit of a nibble at that kind of price. Bold Ransom is my second choice. And then a 10-1 Sing for Rafa pops in your best exact course distance bat, and some better previous 3.35 figures on this side. So in the 8th race, I ended up with 231 in my PA, True to Life, Bold Ransom, and Sing for Rafa. And I've gone wide, being the last leg of the jackpot. If you don't just take 231, then all of 6, 11, 9, 8, 5, and 7 comes into all these yellow stars comes into the reckoning. Because yeah, the last leg of the jackpot is always a question mark. Then the 9th race, here's the other Janssen van Vuur and Celestial Love, quite like him as well. His last run wasn't all that good, 11.8, but the one before that at 0.38, to me, brings him closer to Zimbabwe, which is 0. Which is 7 to 10 favorite. Now, the last run was against one another when when Zimbabwe was 14 to 1 and Celestial Love was 8 to 1 backed into 5 to 1. Chase Moujon took the ride, and he must have done something wrong because Gavin Larena now takes the ride, and Larena has had a second, and a first on him. So that's why he's 1184 versus the 533 on that last run. Zimbabwe is clearly better. That 3.5 lengths that Zimbabwe was better. Zimbabwe now carries 5 kilos more, where Celestial Love only carries 2 kilos more. So that's a 3 kilo swing, and a 3.5 lengths, 3 kilo swing with the adjustment of Gavin Larena taking the ride. I think Celestial Love is probably the better one of the two for me. So I've gone Celestial Love and Zimbabwe as my first two choices, and my third choice again is Stefanos Botha, very much outsider in Queen J at 25 to 1. So I've taken 2, 1, and 5 in my pick 6 here. And then the lucky last, Grand Maroons had only one runner on Tuesday or Thursday, and he won with that only one runner. And he does bring this one back from a little bit of a rest, and prior to the rest he was not very bad because he, while taking the Mardi Gras out of the equation, that was the red bat outside the 250 meters, he had an 8.06 bat versus an 11 on Zouave. So Zouave's had the second best and only needs to improve 3 lengths to get in here. So if he improves that 3 lengths, then it brings him to an 8 bat, and that 8 bat will be popping in nicely here, just below the red bat of Mardi Gras. So I ended up going with Zouaves as my best run here. Gavin Larena hopefully finishes with the double, and my second best is Wally from Clinton Binder. My third choice is Put on the Red Light. It pops up here as best overall ranking, with an 8.6, really decent as well for a 10 to 1 shot, and he's carrying no weight at 49 kilos. Golden Pheasant, 7 to 1, my next best. Express from the US, Pettigrew and von Rensburg. I would think that if Pettigrew is trying the double, then this Anything Goes has really got a decent chance as well. So I'll see if Anything Goes wins the race, then definitely Express from the US pops in as well. So 4, 6, 12, 7, and 3. And then I've added 11, 1, and 5 for the last leg of the jackpot as well. That's it, guys. Have a great day.